Godzilla is now in New York City.
Monster 01 and 02, commence the attack.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Stomp This Way. Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, we're continuing our shark bonanza. We're how many weeks in now? How many movies have we watched? Is this our fourth one?
Third.
No, it's our fourth one. We watched two Jaws movies and a Deep Blue Sea movie. So
Yeah, that's the fourth.
So this is our fourth. In this streak of movies, we've done more shark movies like the Meg and stuff. But yeah, so how are you feeling so far? Good, bad, over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad so far.
It's not terrible.
Maybe until we talk about this one. But yeah, so Andrew, what movie are we talking about today?
Deep Blue Sea 2.
Two. Yep. Well, this is we're getting into direct to video territory, so hold on to your seats. You ready for some production trivia?
Sure.
All right. Well, this is coming 19 years after the original movie. What do you think possessed them to make a direct to video sequel to Deep Blue Sea in 2018?
Money.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they do these type of things for money? I guess shark movies had made a comeback by this point, but it still kind of feels weird that you're going to pick Deep Blue Sea out of your lineup to make a direct-to-video sequel to, but I don't know. Anyway, so Warner Brothers, their home video subsidiary, had tried to get a sequel off the ground in 2008, but it just never materialized. But, so here we are 10 years later getting it. And this was filmed in Cape Town, South Africa. And that's about all I know about this movie. Andrew, what happened at the quote-unquote, I say box office, what happened in the direct-to-video market?
The direct. Well, it was direct to video.
Yes, it was.
Just if you didn't know that already. We released direct to video on April 17th, 2018.
Right.
Debuted at number 8 for physical sales on its week of release.
Right.
Debuted at number 10 on Microsoft Store VOD charts.
That's right. So in the physical sales, it was number 8 on its debut week, which I mean, I don't know what the expectations for this kind of thing is. I would think you were hoping a little better than number 8. And on the video on demand charts, it was number 10, which again, I don't know what the expectation for this kind of thing is. I would think you would hope for a little better than number 10.
No, there's a lot of video. There's a lot of direct-to-video movies out there.
There is, and of course, this is also including the theatrical movies that are going to video.
Yeah,
it's fighting against. So, but still
pretty good, depending on what came out.
I guess, but yeah, it is also kind of. I mean, 2018. I don't know how many. Like nowadays, I don't know how many, other than maybe like Asylum stuff, but even them, most movies nowadays aren't like made to sell on DVD, right? I think most of the time those movies have been replaced by direct to streaming.
Yeah.
So, nowadays, some whatever god awful streaming service would buy the rights to
most time Tubi
or something. This would be a Tubi original. Even in 2018, I think it's that was starting to become a thing But I guess we weren't quite to the complete death of director's DVD movies. But Warner Brothers, which Warner Brothers has been sold and I'm sure completely restructured. They probably don't even have that Paramore or whatever, that subsidiary that dealt in straight to video movies. But well, I guess Warner Brothers, they'd probably put this schlock out on Max. But anyway, let's listen to a trailer and then we'll come back. We'll talk about the cast and crew. We'll talk about the plot, that's being generous, and then we'll discuss how well they recaptured the spirit in Deep Blue Sea 2. See you in a bit.
You know, the idea that great whites are these malicious killing machines roving the shorelines looking for some swimmer to chomp on is just pure fiction. You know, anytime there is a human attack, stay calm. It's just a case of mistaken identity. Come on, you guys. You mind explaining to me what it is you're doing with bull sharks in containment?
My company is one of the leading producers of intelligence enhancers that can actually alter the genetic structure of the brain.
They're problem solving, learning how to learn, and they like it.
You actually think you can get the same results in human beings?
Our potential is greater than any machine. It just needs to be unleashed. Let me show you. We can all be gods.
Or monsters. What's going on?
Never seen him act this way.
It's Corridor 20!
We're losing pressure.
What does that mean?
Means it's gonna blow!
Whatever you created here is teeth and muscle and killer instinct.
All right, there it was. I have to say that trailer was way more epic than anything in this movie, I think. Yeah, Andrew, are you ready for a plot summary?
Yeah, that's what we're calling
Yeah,
it.
that's what we're calling it. All right, well, on the deep sea research facility, Achilleos, eccentric billionaire Carl Durant is conducting experiments with a serum designed to increase human intelligence on 5 bull sharks. To advance his research, he invites a group of scientists to the facility, including shark conservationist Missy Calhoun. It's a poor name if I've ever heard it. And biologists Leslie and Daniel Kim. Also stationed on Achilleos are shark handler Trent Slater, also a porn star name, tech specialist Aaron Elroy, attorney Craig Burns, veterinarian Josh Hooper, and strongman Mike Chutello. I honestly don't know what Mike's job was, so I just put strongman.
He was the assistant.
The other shark handler.
The other shark handler.
Misty immediately clashes with Durant over his reckless methods, but she needs his funding to support her struggling conservation foundation. During her examination of the sharks, she discovers that Bella, Durant's lead bull shark, is pregnant. Meanwhile, the sharks trigger an explosion that disables the facility's electric containment fences. The blast floods sections of the Achilleos and causes the station to begin sinking. Bella soon gives birth, and her offspring quickly invade the facility, devouring Burns. Mike is later decapitated by one of the adult sharks, and the remaining survivors are separated as flooding spreads throughout the station. One by one, the members of the crew fall victim to the ravenous baby sharks until only Misty, Durant, Trent, and Aaron manage to reach the surface. Using a satellite phone, Trent contacts the Coast Guard, but with Achilleos rapidly sinking, the group cannot afford to wait for rescue. They dive into the water and attempt to swim to a nearby speedboat. During the swim, Aaron is dragged underneath the surface and presumed dead, while Durant is devoured by a shark. Misty and Trent reach the boat and use flare guns to kill one of the adult bull sharks. Moments later, Aaron unexpectedly resurfaces, unharmed, and is pulled aboard. As they speed away, Trent detonates explosives rigged throughout the facility, destroying the Achilleos and seemingly wiping out everything in the surrounding waters. In an epilogue, it is revealed that some of the sharks survived the destruction and are swimming toward a crowded beach as credits roll. Ooh. Yeah, so I was expecting the worst going in. So
Yeah.
I couldn't be let down that much. But I think the hope when you go into this kind of movie is, because even that first movie that was a big budget theatrical release, it kind of had a bit of a kind of like winking nod to the audience, like, we know this is kind of silly. Like, when Samuel gets eaten mid-speech, like, they know that it's a silly shark movie, right?
Yeah.
And I think
you have LL Cool J.
and you got LL Cool J hamming it up. So, that movie knew what it was. And I think that was one of its biggest strengths. And so you hope going into a direct-to-video sequel that they're really going to play into that, right? Like, almost like Sharknado level, we know what we're making here. And I think as we go throughout this movie, the shock will be that this script plays it very straight. And it's like, where is the fun?
Is that going to be our next adventure, Sharknado?
No, I've said, and I continue to say, no sci-fi originals. I don't think we've done any sci-fi originals. And no Asylum movies, unless we just absolutely run out of content. But it is what it is. But anyway, yeah. So when we start with this like almost Bondish type of like opening sequence with this girl in a bikini and a snorkel swimming around with sharks as like this, I think, an original song plays to the credits. We'll go through this, and then it ends up turning into like an educational video where, like, I guess she's a scientist. They always call her a shark conservationist. And I think they do say at one point she's got a PhD or something. But she's like giving a lecture about how great white sharks are actually super friendly and, are misportrayed in movies as man-eaters when they're really just like super chill. But the real shark danger is from bull sharks.
Yeah.
Which statistically, bull sharks do attack more people than any other shark. I think mostly because they just really kind of happen to be in the same waters that a lot of swimmers are.
Yeah.
And they can...
Great whites are typically
deep water sharks.
Deep water.
And also bull sharks are, very accustomed to brackish waters. I mean, they've gone as far inland as like the Great Lakes before. So, they're in rivers and things at times. And so they just happen to be around people a lot more, and they are kind of aggressive. But anyway, so she's going to give this thing about bull sharks are the real monster or whatever. And then she's going to be recruited by this lawyer, Craig Burns. And we're basically going to repeat the structure of the first movie, which is also kind of a repeat of the structure of Jurassic Park. Now, Jurassic Park, Alan Grant gets recruited by Hammond and blah, blah. And Deep Blue Sea, I guess they didn't really recruit anybody in Deep Blue Sea that wasn't already there. But
yeah,
we're going to go to this facility, and we're going to be in another deep water research facility, only much less impressive because the budget's much less impressive. Andrew made a good point while we were listening to that trailer. He was like, what did they film in South Africa? And I guess they filmed off the coast of South Africa, because actually the movie opens with, I skipped over it, 2 very obvious South African actors. Yeah. Because I think, a lot of these foreign countries have a requirement that X amount of the cast has to be native if you're filming there. And these 2 guys are catching sharks. I guess they're collecting the fins. Yeah. Which I don't know how valuable the fins are. I think they put them in some kind of soup or something. But anyway, and you get the shot of the fire. There's like a warning that goes out, like if you're, nearby, you're in immediate danger and blah, blah, blah. And then they see the 5 shark fins, and they get attacked or whatever and killed and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, let's get to this research facility. So we get to this research facility. The surface is a little like floating dock with a little cabin on it.
Yeah.
And two like little out arms on it because that's all the budget could afford.
Yeah.
And we're introduced to Durant. He's basically the Samuel L. Jackson replacement for this movie, just more evil, right? And he's really the main antagonist, and he is. I don't even really know. Like in the first movie, they needed sharks because the sharks actually are the ones that had the serum or whatever in their brains that they were extracting, right?
Yeah.
But here, I think he's just testing it on sharks, just to test it on something. Which why would you test it on sharks, which are already like super dangerous animals? But whatever, gotta go with the plot. And he's also taking it himself.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of hilarious moments where he drink his little serum
and it's like math. And
then like little like equations and chemistry equations and blueprints and stuff will like flash across the screen.
Having a brain blast.
A brain blast like Jimmy Neutron. Although I will have a major problem with that because at no point in the movie do I feel like he's hyper intelligent. And so I don't know why they didn't play that up more, but whatever. But we also have, he's also invited this newlywed couple, the Kims, right? Mm-hmm. They were
research people.
They were, what were their names? Daniel and Leslie.
I can't believe we brought that because he screams it half the movie.
Yeah, he does. He does scream his wife's name a lot. But, and they'll have a little tiff because Daniel has secretly been given his wife's research over to...
They've been working together.
Durant for like 7 months or something. And then she gets all offended, but then she's like, oh, I guess I need the money. We'll keep going or whatever.
Yeah.
And then already at the station is his lawyer, Craig Burns, as Hammond in Jurassic Park said, the blood-sucking lawyer.
Yeah.
And then you also have Trent Slater. He is the
shark wrangler.
Jane Thomas. Yeah, Thomas Jane replacement. He's the shark handler. And then there's Mike, who, like you said, I think he's like basically Trent's assistant or something.
Shark wrangler.
There's Josh Hooper. I don't know if that's a reference to Matt Hooper and Jaws, but he's like, I called him the veterinarian, what biologist, whatever he is.
Yeah.
He like doctors the sharks. And then there's Aaron, who's the little dweeb that keeps the tech stuff running.
Yeah.
Even though he's not very good at his job because the sharks have already like dug a tunnel under their electric fences and escaped and he didn't notice. But why didn't they not have these sharks tagged so that they can track them at all times? I don't know, but
they do.
Well, then he didn't know that the sharks had gotten there. They don't have like an alert to go out when their tags go outside of the perimeter. No.
Aaron, you're thinking too much into this movie.
Am I thinking too much? I don't think this movie thought enough about it. But yeah, so I think the movie it's only 94 minutes. It feels like it goes on for eternity. I think they have two interior sets. I think they have the big room where the wet pool is, right? Where they're all gathered for like half an hour of this movie, standing around just making random observations. And then I think they have one hallway set that they absolutely abuse in this movie over and over.
And the hallways have different colors.
Yeah, and then as we'll get into, they to make you feel like you're in a different hallway, they flood it with a different color and film it from the opposite side or a different angle. And
the red room, the blue room,
the green room, the violet room. Yeah, it's hilarious. But anyway, so basically, Misty's going to be very confrontational with Durant from the beginning. She's like, she needs his research money, I guess. So she's going to show up.
And Durant keeps going off about his rant about AI.
Yeah. Actually kind of feels timely, his rant about AI destroying humanity or whatever. But yeah, his big fear is that AI is going to replace humanity. So his his solution is to make humans super smart.
Yeah.
And
So they don't need technology.
even though if as smart as people are going to get is him by drinking the serum, I don't think we're going to save anybody. But and then she gets so indignant about the fact that he's testing on bull sharks and something about how bull sharks are, not meant to be in captivity. Although people keep bull sharks. Like great whites are not kept in captivity because they die in captivity. But I think bull sharks are kept in captivity pretty often, but whatever, it seems like a stupid
yeah. I
fit
think
to
they're
throw.
like the most things in zoos and stuff.
Yeah, and these bull sharks are big. Like really big.
Because they've been
Is it because of this
experimented
serum? I don't think they ever say anything about the serum making them grow big, but they're thick bull sharks. But anyway,
on. Bull sharks can get decent length.
but they basically spend, because it's one of only 2 interior sets that they have, a whole bunch of time arguing with each other in this wet pool room. And she's arguing about the evils of this, and I don't know, blah 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 blah. But anyway, they're gonna bring. She eventually does, because I kept wondering, like, why did he even bring Misty here? Because he doesn't seem to be like wanting her to do anything, and she'll even eventually ask, like, why am I here? And he says, because the sharks are being acting weird, which you've been feeding them smart serum.
Experimental drugs.
Well, what did you expect them to act normal? I thought you wanted them to act weird, but whatever. I guess we also did skip over to show her that it was safe. He like threw Aaron into the water on the surface, and then they have like a little key fob thing that Trent can press, and it like, I guess, sends the sharks away or something. But poor Aaron, he is absolutely abused in this movie.
Yeah.
But he's also annoying, so it's okay. But anyway, so they're gonna bring Bella, who is like the lead bull shark, and she does. I don't remember if it's before or after they bring Bella up, where she tells him, "Well, I saw just from looking at her first glance that Bella's pregnant," and he's like, "Are you sure?" And anyway, he's like, "How did we miss that in the blood test?" And he's like, "Well, you've been feeding him weird drugs." Anyway, so they're gonna again repeat the scene from the first movie, basically, where they're gonna bring Bella up through the wet pool, and they're gonna. I don't really know what they were doing. They brought her up to.
They were giving her the serum and everything.
Okay, they were feeding her the serum or whatever, and then when she tells them that she's pregnant, he's like. Josh Hooper is like, I got to get a throat sample, a throat culture. And so he's going to stick his arm. You'd think they'd have like a tool to reach in there and like, scrape the throat or whatever. But he's going to just open the jaws and put like a little
plywood.
A little wooden like prop in there and gonna go all the way shoulder deep in there. And of course the shark, you see his pupils and it moves, so he does pull his arm out in time before it, but meanwhile the sharks, or maybe it's after Bella goes back in the water, the sharks are like so smart that they basically set up this like Rube Goldberg device where they're gonna, the speedboat that's anchored out there, they're gonna hit the speedboat, and I think it somehow turns the engine on because it like trundles over to the.
It's like a push button start.
It's a push button start motor from the water. I don't know, but it runs over and hits the little dock where they're holding their gas cans. Barrels, and they knock over a barrel, which then dumps a bunch of gasoline in the water. And then where does the spark come from?
Remember, they hit the power station with the boat, and it knocks over the barrels.
Okay, so they hit this power station, which knocked over the barrels, which then causes a spark, which then ignites the gasoline, which then causes an explosion, which this explosion looks pathetic. But we're supposed to believe that it's such a powerful explosion that it knocks out the power to the station and also causes some hull breaches. and it's gonna slowly, just like in the first movie, start
no,
to sink.
remember the sharks ram when the power goes out, they ram the station.
They do ram the station.
That's
yes, you're
what
right.
caused the whole breach.
That's what caused the whole breach. You're right. And then it's gonna slowly start to sink.
Yeah.
And then Misty, through the power of shark clairvoyance or something, is like, no, Bella's already had her babies. And then the baby, I don't even think we see Burns' death scene. Like, we see the department get flooded, right?
Yeah.
And we see him trying to get out. But then the next thing you know, like,
You see him floating in front of the door.
his
halfway.
body is floating in front of the window, half eaten. And they all start to freak out. And at some point, there's a bad CGI shot of the baby sharks, like,
There's a few scenes.
of the baby sharks invading the facility. So we're basically gonna get
Most of the time, it's not them showing them; it just bubbles.
yeah. In addition to Jaws and Jurassic Park, we're also gonna get some piranha thrown in here because they're basically a school of piranha eating people. But
Because the big sharks aren't really the threaten this.
for most of the movie, no, we can't afford to show the big sharks. There is, well, we'll talk about effects later, but no, we can't afford to show the big sharks. So we're gonna have this copy and paste shot of CGI shot of the baby sharks a couple of times. But then, like you said, a lot of like you know when you're in the pool and you get like the water hose and you like put it under and it causes bubbles up the water or whatever,
And like a lot of weird noises that follow that.
Yeah, so you're gonna get a lot of those shots. But anyway, Mike decides that he's gonna go out and get the boat or something. I don't really know, but
No, you don't go up and call the Coast
oh
Guard.
yeah, that's because the sat phone is on the surface, of course. So he's gonna go up and call the Coast Guard. But she talked about earlier how bull sharks, like, before they bite you, they like headbutt you and stun you, and then they eat you. And he gets like headbutted by one of the sharks and knocked unconscious. So then Trent goes out and recovers him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's safe. But then he's leaning over the wet pool a couple minutes later, and the shark jumps up and bites his head off.
Yeah.
And you're like, uh-oh. And then, just like in the first movie, they're like, oh, the pressure it's depressurizing. And then the wet pool like explodes and the thing starts to flood. And then we all get separated into different wings of the station.
Yeah.
And this is where we get, that same hallway. Just they flooded it, which I guess congratulations to them for flooding it. At least give some realism.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the same hallway. I think we got, how many different sets of characters we got? I mean, basically everybody's separated.
Yeah.
And
they're like separated in sets of two.
yeah, and everyone's got a different color hallway, which why would you rig a station with like a whole bunch of different colors? It doesn't make any sense.
For it, they try to explain it like for like different quarters, the living quarters.
Yeah, it still doesn't make sense why your emergency lights would all be different colors, but okay. But yeah, you got purple, red, green, blue, violet. I mean, it's hilarious.
And you can tell it's the same sets because you can see the same stuff on each corridor.
It's this
like you would think it would be made up a long time ago.
Yeah,
because they go into each corridor so fast. You're like, how are they meeting each other?
yeah, and you like you said, you can, because it has the same like warning sign, the same ladder, the same off-shooting hallway on every set. You'd think they would at least redecorate it each time with like some at least wall decorations to make it feel a little different. But hey, we were on a tight schedule, I'm sure. So, and anyway, who gets eaten next? Let's see. I think is it Mrs. Kim?
No, it's the guy.
Is it Hooper?
With the guy with Aaron.
Hooper, yeah.
Yeah.
So Aaron and Hooper, you're right, are together, right? And I guess they're like best friends. I don't know.
Cousins, I think.
Does it say they're cousins? Oh, okay. Anyway.
Best friends or cousins.
I guess they get into the third interior set that they have, which is like the little bunk room or whatever. And there's a shower in there. And we have this whole sequence where Aaron gets up on the top bunk bed and then Hooper tries to hide in the shower.
Yeah.
So he like closes the shower door and the water's outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then the little sharks come in, but then the water rises and spills over the shower door. And the little sharks go in and the water turns red, and so he's dead now. But then
and there was a lot of Aaron and the other guy screaming.
oh yeah, there was a lot of screaming.
Aaron was Hooper.
Hooper.
Mhm.
And anyway, but then Aaron will paddle away on his floating mattress.
Yeah.
And then I think is it Mrs. Kim that gets eaten next, where Daniel and Leslie got separated.
Mhm.
And then there's like a door that closes, and he sees her through sees her through the little glass on the door.
Mhm.
And of course she gets eaten in front of him.
Yeah.
And her like half-eaten face floats in front of the door or whatever. And then he's gonna go into some shock.
And that's when Aaron finds him.
Aaron will find him and he's like, what's the point in living? He's like, you gotta live for her. And then he just repeats over and over, I've gotta live for her. And everyone he meets, he's like, I've gotta live for her.
That's like his whole line.
That's his whole thing. Let's see. And then meanwhile, Durant's swimming around and he runs into Trent and Misty,
Mm-hmm.
the two porn stars. And Durant is like, there's a escape ladder that goes up to the surface through the vent. Or
The
whatever.
maintenance.
The maintenance vent, the maintenance ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, well, let's get to that room. So they swim over and him and Trent swim in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Durant closes the door behind them and then like knocks off the turn wheel or whatever.
Well, Misty heard the other two screaming, so she went the other direction.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Durant locked them out.
And then I'm not really sure. I guess because she's threatening to turn him in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what he thought Trent was going to do when he locked out Misty. And Trent, of course, is pissed and hits him in the face and then tells, he talks to Misty through the door and she's like, go to the surface and call out. I'll find a way or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, then Aaron and Daniel are going to find Misty.
Mm-hmm.
And Misty had swum around and found like an oxygen mask and like the electric welder thing, which is gonna become hilarious. But then Aaron and Daniel find her and she's like cutting out. She's got the cutter and she's like cutting out a hole in the door to like get through it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like the sharks start coming and she's like, go through the door. And I guess they like reached through the door and unlocked it. I don't really know, but then she's like, I'll stay here, and she stands outside the door with her little like welding torch, and like as the shark does absolutely nothing, like the sharks swim around her, and I guess she's like trying to burn them as they swim by, and of course
and they go in the little hole, and she's like, oh.
She's like, oh, how could I have foreseen this? and she's supposed to be the shark. The thing that bothers me, well, I mean, there's a lot. The main thing that's bothering me is this movie has no fun and it's so serious. I don't think there was a single joke in the whole movie. I mean, there's a couple of lines that I laugh at because they're so stupid.
Yeah.
But they play it so straight. But anyway, so Daniel and Aaron are climbing up the ladder, but the water's rising. And then Misty, she's gonna like, how does she get out? She like breaks out of she swims through like a hole breach or something and gets to the surface, or
she swims back to where the wet pool was.
Oh yeah.
Swims through it.
The wet pool.
Yeah.
And then out to the surface. Right, that's right. And then meanwhile, Daniel is like the one is behind Aaron, and they get up to the top hatch, and Daniel like somehow got to the top while also being eaten alive, and so they pull his body out, and his bottom half is eaten, and
the water was rising, so its bottom half was under the water,
and his entrails are like spilling out, and he says something, I don't remember what he said, something about for her or something.
Yeah.
And they drop him, and that is the funniest line. And I don't know if this was accidental delivery or like what the direction was, but I think it's Trent that closes it and says, he's dead. He did.
He did.
And that was the funniest bit in the whole movie.
He did.
And the Misty services. And so now we're down to 4. Misty, Durant, Aaron, and Trent. And Misty and Durant are having a little argument. But he calls the Coast Guard. And then the Coast Guard sends a drone to, I guess, check out the story before they bother sending a boat or a helicopter. And of course, the drone gets, the shark jumps out of the water and eats the drone.
And the Coast Guard plot goes nowhere after that.
Yeah, well, I guess the thing is sinking, so they've got to leave before the Coast Guard gets there or whatever. Because I think the Coast Guard would still send somebody if their drone got eaten.
Yeah.
But anyway, the thing's sinking. Even though the surface is still like, the surface dock is still like on the same, it hasn't sunk at all while the bottom's been sinking, but whatever. And so they got to swim out to the boat, which is like 20 feet off the dock or whatever. And again, this is another hilarious scene. Earlier, we had Durant throw Aaron in, which, you know, like at least logistically made sense because Durant's a pretty big guy. Aaron is a pretty scrawny guy. But then this time, Misty like literally picks up Aaron like he's a rag doll and just like chunks him in the water. And I'm like, what the heck? And anyway, but then they all jump in and swim. But they set it up earlier, right? That Aaron got dragged under by the shark, but it just like was interested in his shoe. So he gets dragged under, and we're supposed to think he's dead, but of course we never saw any body or blood, so we know he's still alive. And Durant is finally going to get his comeuppance. Like he faces off. Is it Bella that eats him? One problem I have is like there's no visual distinction between the sharks. So most of the time I just assume we're seeing Bella, even though I'm not really sure. But anyway, like he screams at Bella and she swims the other way and he thinks he's, you know, so smart and mighty or whatever. But then Bella, probably the best, you know, visual effect shot of the movie. She jumps out of the water and has him in her mouth and then she chops down and falls back into the water or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Trent and Misty get on the boat and they like, there's 2 flare guns on the boat for some reason. And they like shoot a shark that jumps out at him. I don't know if that's Bella or not.
I think that's Bella.
Is it Bella? Kill the shark, and then it cuts back to them, and they've got like their action movie pose going on with the guns held out. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Aaron resurfaces, and they pull him back, and it's like, hey, they just wanted my shoe. I don't know why they like his shoe so much. Maybe they like Aaron. I don't know. But anyway, so then they speed away, and then again, she's like, wait, we can't let the sharks, even though I think the fences have been down for a long time at this point. I don't know why the sharks haven't just swum away, but I guess because the food's there. But anyway, she's like, these sharks can't escape because earlier, you know, she is the shark conservationist and Durant was like, why do you want these sharks dead? She's like, these aren't sharks. You've created monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Trent's like, and I think they did set it up earlier that the thing was rigged to blow or something. But anyway, so he sets off the self-destruct bombs. And the station blows up, and it is the best explosion of the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, you blew the station up, but I don't think that killed the sharks in the water. But they just assumed the sharks are dead for some reason. Because I thought he had set up that the sharks, he could kill the sharks at any time. Didn't he say something about they've got, you know, bombs inside of them or something?
No, he's like, they have trackers.
He said trackers. I thought they had rigged the sharks to blow.
I think he was like, I got trackers. I can track them anywhere, and I could kill them.
He said, yeah, I could kill them at any time. So I thought they had rigged the sharks to blow.
All right, I think it's this.
Which would have made a lot more sense. But I don't know. Anyway. But of course, we have an epilogue where there's a beach, and
I think it's supposed to be one of the bigger sharks and all the babies.
Yeah, it looked like one adult shark and a bunch of babies. They're swimming towards a beach or something. Which obviously that explosion didn't kill the sharks. I don't know why they thought it would have, but whatever.
And you know, you saw them take the green flag and put the red flag.
Yeah, well, usually the red flag is for rip currents, but it's just a funny visual. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of the movie. Thank God. But yeah, so yeah, I guess my main conclusion, my big issue with the movie is it's not winking at the audience. Like I knew it was going to be bad. It's a direct-to-video sequel to a 90s shark movie. I mean, come on. But I think some of those things can be fun when the movie knows it's bad and the actors know what kind of movie they're in. And I mean, some elements are here. Like when you name your stars Misty Calhoun and Trent Slater, like those are porn star names. Like let's play up the ridiculousness of this. And there are some moments, especially in the third act, that are so bad or so stupid that it's funny. But I never feel like the movie thinks they're so stupid that they're funny.
No.
And it just, and especially those first two acts just drag by so slow. And I'm just like, let's just get to it already.
You didn't like Durant, multiple times in the movie drinking the serum and having.
I think he did it twice. Now that was funny. That first
I'm
time.
pretty sure he did it 3 times.
I think that was, but again, I didn't understand why like they showed that visual, which is telling us he's getting super smart, I think.
Yeah.
But then he never acts super smart. In fact, he acts pretty dumb. And so I'm like, is he supposed to be really smart? I'm confused because if so, the serum ain't working, buddy. But like, why didn't we have a scene of him like doing some weird math in his head? Like, oh, well, the water's rushing in at this rate per hour. So the thing is going to sink at this exact time. But if we get to this hallway through this shaft and do this, and like, we needed a scene of him at least trying to pretend to be smart, and we never get it. But whatever.
No, Aaron, he was smart because they showed the visual of him having
right.
mathematics. in his head.
That's what the visual was for. I'm sorry. It reminded me. Remember, I think it's in the first Spider-Man, or after he gets bit, and you have like start having like the flashes of like the DNA on screen and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So it's terrible. It's just terrible, and it's not fun. But you want to get to creature design?
Sure.
We got sharks. We have, I think, the same CGI model copied and pasted 5 times. They don't really look like, well, like I said, they look a lot bigger and thicker than normal bull sharks. I don't know if the serum is supposed to physically alter them in some way, but they're bull sharks, and they're mean, and they have the CGI model, and then they do have one physical like prop. I don't know if it's an animatronic or just like a big puppet or what. Like they do when they do bring her out of the wet pool or whatever. I don't even think it's a full model because they only show like the top half of the shark. But that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
But and then you have the baby sharks, which are literally just little baby CGI sharks.
Yeah.
But getting into effects, I will say that the CGI for a direct-to-video movie on a low budget isn't terrible, particularly on the adult sharks. I thought it was passable.
Yeah.
And there were even a couple of scenes that are pretty, I don't want to say good, pretty decent. Like the shot where the shark jumps out of the water and bites his head off looks okay. I actually thought the shark, like I said, the best looking scene from a VFX standpoint, at the end when Durant, like Bella, jumps up out of the water, has him in her mouth, and she bites down, and the blood spurts, and they fall back into water. Doesn't look bad.
No.
Now the CGI baby sharks look pretty bad. They look like Asylum level, like copy and paste, same shot over and over. CGI baby sharks.
And then the bubbles. Oh goodness.
And then they have a cardboard fin they use a couple times that looks really cheap. It literally looks like a cardboard fin, and it's like, oh, okay.
Especially when they were sedating Bella.
Yeah. When they're like, and it only shows her fin on the surface, and he sticks her with the needle or whatever. Yeah, that looked really cheap. But and then like I said, set design wise, they've got a really cheap looking surface set.
Yeah.
And then they got like 2 interior sets in that hallway that they just absolutely abuse.
They're like,
and it's like from a visual standpoint, like the middle of the movie, all art direction like goes out the window.
Yeah.
Like any sort of like color palette or color gradient or anything like that. It's just like all blue, all green. And it's just like this cinematographer just like took some off days and like just put some green lights up. Let's not worry about lighting or color.
Here's some green, red, blue.
Yeah. Which
lights.
it was just like a really lazy way to make a movie, but whatever. But and then score. I mean, I don't know. That song over the opening credits was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the score is like your pretty generic action movie score that you'd get on one of these direct-to-video sequel things. But yeah. You ready for some final thoughts?
Sure.
Go for it.
like we said, this movie's it's there. It's okay at points.
I guess.
At some points.
Yeah.
The set is small. They had 1 or 2 rooms and a couple of corridors to film on. Some of the effects aren't terrible. Like Aaron said, some of the sharks are not the worst you've ever seen. I'm pretty sure in the next Deep Blue Sea and the Jaws, it's gonna start going drastically downhill in the effects area.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've seen Jaws 3. I know what it looks like.
It has Dennis Quaid in it.
Yeah, you keep saying it like it's a good thing.
It has Dennis Quaid. Who else could you want?
I don't know.
Deep Blue Sea, it has people.
Yeah.
I don't know who plays in that. A lot of B-rated actors, probably.
Yeah, these are director videos. They're a bunch of B-rated actors. I wish they would have gotten one actor from that first movie to do a cameo. Like, can LL Cool J charge that much for a cameo? Maybe LL would, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Back in 2018, probably.
Thomas Jane did some sci-fi TV shows. They couldn't con him in to come visit this set for a couple hours one day to do a little video call or something. I don't know.
The score. Can't remember it.
Yeah.
Was there a score?
There's a very generic action movie score. Yeah.
I can remember the first, the intro and outro score.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
Was it better than LL Cool J song?
No.
Nah.
Like a shark fin, whatever he said.
I love that song, actually,
Oh gosh, I don't know. Love might be strong, but okay.
It was, he was creative.
Yeah, I guess.
At least they had more than one set corridor in that movie.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest drop off, right? Is that first movie was visually impressive because they had these massive sets. They were constantly flooding with water, and they built it over the tanks that they built.
This corridors don't even look like they flood. It looks like they put water in it.
Yeah, they didn't have that great shot like so many times they did in that first movie where you had the great shot of the water rushing in. Here it's just like a half flooded set.
Yeah, it's like here you go.
Yeah.
And the water never rises, I feel like. It just
No, I think we're supposed to get the impression that it's rising, but they never visually really tell you that it's rising.
No, there's here's water.
Yeah.
It's flooding.
Yeah.
But it was there. It
Yeah.
was a movie.
Yeah.
They acted.
They did.
They were actors in it. Not good ones, but
Yeah.
they were there. They said their lines. I think Durant was, he tried.
I will say, yeah, I mean, I think most of them are absolutely terrible, but I think it's Michael Beach playing Durant, and he had some charisma.
He had some.
He had some charisma. He at least had some screen presence,
He tried.
unlike everybody else.
All the other ones just said their lines.
Yeah, I mean, they were direct-to-video actors. You can tell.
But, I'll give this movie, I'll give it a C-.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's a terrible movie. Like I said, the third act, some of it got so bad, it was kind of entertaining. But for most of it, I just thought it was so flat, so boring. The dialogue is terrible. It doesn't make any sense why they're doing this. It's super cheap. You can tell they just don't have the money to make a good shark attack movie. The same 2 or 3 sets over and over. Your lead character is Misty Calhoun. I mean, come on. Come on. Trent Slater. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's a terrible movie. I mean, the production values are bad. The acting's bad. The script is bad. I had some chuckles when, he's dead and throw him back into the hatch. And I thought the CGI, like I said, the CGI was not as bad as I expected. So I guess that's a prop I'll give it. I kind of laughed at a couple of, the more silly moments, but I thought it was a bad movie. I thought it was really boring. I thought the 94-minute runtime went on forever. I thought about giving it an F, But I guess I had enough unintentionally funny moments, and I think the CGI was just passable enough. I'll give it a D minus, but definitely not in the C range. But anyway,
Anyway.
couple news items. It's been rumored. I've seen a lot of rumors online that the Supernova trailer will be coming to San Diego Comic-Con, which would kind of make sense, right?
Mhm.
It comes out in March, I think. So you'd be giving yourself like a 9-month kind of leadway to market the movie. So maybe that would make. I've also seen a rumor where it'll be attached to Dune 3, which doesn't come out till December. Now I'm sure the trailer will be on Dune 3. Now whether it'll be the debut for the trailer or not is the question. Now the only reason I think they may wait till after San Diego is because I don't know if they really want to start marketing Supernova before -0 comes out, because you don't want to, because -0 is going to have a pretty big North American push from what I understand. I don't know if you want to cross your Godzilla marketing and get people confused, like the general audience is confused about which Godzilla movie's coming out. But we'll just have to see. But anyway, I did see a new mobile game was announced, Godzilla Defense Force X.
Ooh.
Coming in like 2027, January 2027 or something like that. Looks just like another one of those, like, what do you call them? Not RPG games, but
No. That would be an expensive game, Aaron.
one of those little like defense tower games or whatever. Kind of
Tower
like the last one.
defense.
Like the defense line game they have out right now. But yeah, I did want to talk about the trailer for a movie coming out, which I'm not putting on the schedule because I've already got the October schedule filled, but it could kind of fall in line with this podcast.
It's kind of a weird trailer.
It's not really a trailer. It's just a scene from the movie.
It's kind of a weird, like, it just appeared out of nowhere movie, kind of.
Yeah, it's called Whalefall. I did a little bit of research. Apparently, it's based on a book, which is allegedly based on a true story. But it's the story is about this guy who goes looking for his father's remains and gets swallowed by a sperm whale, and then has to like get out of the sperm whale stomach or whatever. But the trailer, yeah, it shows Josh Brolin, I guess, plays the dad, which I guess I just spoiled. Josh Brolin's dead, but Josh Brolin and this kid and the son's going diving, and then yeah, it's just probably the best scene in the movie. I'm imagining they've turned into the trailer where the sperm whale is chasing a giant squid, and then while eating the giant squid, he like inadvertently swallows this diver, and yeah, so it could kind of fall in line with this podcast. I got a feeling that most of the movie's probably spent inside the sperm whale and not running from the sperm whale. But if I didn't have the October schedule filled up with our spooktacular, Toho classic H-Man and other similar movie series, I would have probably put it on the schedule. But anyway, so check out that trailer online if you're interested, and go see it in theaters. Like, I think it's October 25th or something like that. But anyway, got anything else, Andrew?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, if that's it, then don't forget that you can always contact us at stompthisway1954@gmail.com.
You can find our website at www.stompthisway.wordpress.com.
That's right. I need to update our website. Maybe I did update it the other day. I don't know. My days are getting all confused. But you can also find us on social media on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And next week, did I say it was next? Next week is Jaws 3D.
Ooh.
We won't be watching it in 3D. We'll just be watching it on normal standard 2D Blu-ray format. But Jaws 3, so like Andrew said, it's got Dennis Quaid. So if you haven't ever seen it before, well, I guess you can check it out. But anyway, Jaws 3 next week, and then Deep Blue Sea 3, and then we'll be concluding with Jaws the Revenge. So anyway, as always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Andrew.
And we'll see you next time.